What's going on, my friend? Today we're just gonna have a fun little trail run. So I've got my scale rig out. We're just gonna go kind of hit some lines, see how far we can make it up, see if we can maybe make it up to the arch. I don't know. Let's go have some fun. All right. It's a hot one today, so we'll see if we can get out of the sunny spots quick and into the shade. But ultimately, we're just here to have some fun. Sorry about that little delay. I am actually gonna meet up with somebody today. To trade for a more low profile transmission that will hopefully fit on my Reaper so that I could change my body to a power wagon body. Oh, who's stacking rocks down here? Do you guys stack rocks? Oh, I don't ever stack rocks. All right. Bummer of an update. This is the transmission, but it won't fit. It won't fit in here. So my wife actually had an idea. I'm gonna minimize the height of those seats and see if that'll get me what I need to get this going on, but drop real low. Just check out my sweet interior I got in there. So this is a pretty fun obstacle. I honestly have no idea if this truck is gonna be able to do this. So we're gonna find out together right now. But right now I've got the bumper is causing me some heartache. Oh, can't see. So in my last video, I talked about this balance of like posting content that's, fun for me to film, driving trucks that are fun for me. Oh, we got it. We got it. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty, but we got it. Oh, there we go. Nice. Posting content that's fun for you versus fun for me. And hopefully this is a good mix-up. I'm coming out today to just have fun. That's all. I don't have a whole lot in mind. So, I get feedback from you sometimes about like, it's just fun to listen, kind of tag along while you're tinkering or whatever you do. Some of you, you might be an active listener. Others, you might be, turn this video on while you're putting together a kit or something, but hopefully this is good either way. All right, so the line we're on right now is just simply not going to work. So let's see if I can get readjusted here. I'm actually going to use that bumper to get me pivoted around. So I'm just throttling into the rock right now. There we go. Okay, so this is going to be a little too vertical for this truck. Typically, I want the tire right up on that ledge, but I don't think that's going to be possible with this truck. But we need to stay high, so I'm trying to find that like sweet spot right here of, because if it does that, I'm off the line. I may even just have to not talk to you for a second and try and figure this out. All right, I'm gonna start the music while I try and figure out this obstacle. That is not the line I was anticipating. Oh no. This is not a good spot to be. Dang it. We're toast. Okay, I had to get creative to get back into this position. Starting over, here we go. Oh, tail light. That was a horrible sound. Oh, that was rough. But the tail light's still on, so that's good. All right, well, that obstacle told us no. So normally I would come up this and then just kind of trail back down here. And now we're headed this direction to then loop back around across that ridge and over. So let's see what we can do. We got about 10 more minutes before I gotta head back to work. Let's see how far we can make it. All right, this is the next fun obstacle. Kind of just skipped over all the transition obstacles, but the goal is to not have to carry the rig. You know what I'm saying? So, this is gonna be a tough obstacle right here. Sorry, I was checking the ankle for bugs. Because the side hill is kind of aggressive. All right, so we're trying to keep things clear here. I gotta stay super high on the driver front. Oh, look at that back tire fold. Nice. All right, right out of that, I come over to this little V-notch thing. You know, honestly, most of the time I make this more difficult than it needs to be. I'm trying to drive it like a V-notch, when really it's just drive up the right side, kind of an obstacle. See what I'm saying? Fun transition here. All right, well, fellas, the phone overheated again, so now you get a little update on the Reaper. So, today is Sunday. I've been working on this bad boy. So, my wife suggested, as I mentioned earlier, making our seats not as deep to clear. So I actually 3D printed some new seats, and you can see I made them so shallow that the bottom actually didn't work. Then I gave them like a little tethered white paint job. But between those two things, I was actually able to gain a lot to lower the truck down. So I've got it on here. And another thing I did to make my driver more visible is I actually pulled out his torso. So he's got a little tiny torso, but it lets you see more of the driver instead of having his head like way up here, which is much how my head actually is. But all right, hopefully that's better. I realized that it might have been loud with my kids watching a movie. But okay, then I had to figure out how to mount this up, right? So we pulled the bed off, and we've just got some, couple of chassis spacers. And then I had to hit the old 3D printer to figure out a design. So the body already came with magnets on it. And so I did a couple of iterations. This is what we ended up with, but okay, I didn't want to have to move this spacer that's holding the shocks in place. So I did a couple of iterations and I'm pretty proud of it. So I needed to come up to meet the magnets under the hood, right? So I designed this. This was iteration 1, and the goal of this was just to get the proper width and height. So this actually worked really nicely. It was a little too narrow. So on version 2, I made it a tad wider. And then I also found that the height was actually perfect, but I had to bridge over the chassis spacer to actually hit the magnets. So I added this little bit here and then identified where the holes needed to be for mounting. Marked them on this, marked where the magnets were kind of lining up. And then I printed version 3, which was freaking perfect. Honestly, I'm so proud of myself. Usually it takes me so long. And then I added a couple of things just to make it look better. So I did the tapers off the top. The holes through the center are just to lighten it up. The arch here is to lighten it up. And then I did the little angle here for strength, as well as just to make it look better. So all in all, I am extremely proud of the way that this bracket turned out. Honestly, kind of blows me away. And then even down to my magnets here, they press fit in really clean on my first attempt. I think I will need to epoxy them in here. I just been testing it today and they're pulling off. And then I actually just noticed as filming that this one came off too, which isn't surprising because whoever it was only had them double stick taped onto there. So I'll have to figure that out. But man, with that, the Power Wagon body is good to go. Magnetics on there. I think I'll need to create some sort of bracket, maybe just do the clips on the back to make it easy. But we'll see. I'm pretty stoked about it. I decided to go with the grill in front of the bumper because one, this bumper's ugly. But then it also allows me to slide the cab that much further forward. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased. I just need to figure out the bed, what I want to do with that, the rear posts, and I want to get some super swampers. That's what I want to do. I want to run some swampers. I've never ran them, and I think they would look sick on this build. So, all right, you guys, that's going to conclude this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you later.